We continue finding relationships involving angles of a circle and their intercepted arcs. So let's take a look at what we have going on here. So we're going to look at angles where the vertex is inside the circle. So yesterday we did we looked at angles that were inscribed. That means the vertex was on the circle. Now we're going to look at angles where the vertex is inside the circle. There are two things that can happen. The vertex could be at the center, and we've already seen this. And if the vertex is at the center, then here's the intercepted arc, and the arc and the central angle are equal. So arc equals, we call that a central, makes sense, right? Central angle. They are equal to each other. But we can take that vertex and here we're going to move it. So here's your center, clearly in the middle of our circle and clearly not the vertex over here. And we want to figure out how can we find and what's the relationship between the angle and the arcs. Well, this is it. I think it's easier if I'm just going to write in some letters. So I'm going to call this arc over here X. I'm going to call this arc over here Y. And what we're going to do is we are going to average them to find this angle. So X plus Y divided by 2, that's your average, and that's going to give you, why not use Z, right? So let's write that over here. X plus Y divided by 2 is equal to the Z. That's equal to your angle. Now, this is a proportion. I love a proportion. So whenever we solve these guys, we're going to put this over 1 and cross multiply. So another way that we can look at this formula is you can add these two arcs and it's going to equal this plus this, which is 2Z, and there's your 2Z. Remember, these are vertical angles. They're the same measure. So 2 times Z, these two together, is equal to the sum of those two arcs. And there it is. Okay, so let's look at these few examples, and then we're going to do all 8 on the bottom. So let's get cracking here. Okay, so this one right here. Remember, we said, let's take a look. Here it is. So we're going to add the arcs, divide by 2, and it equals the angle. Arc plus arc, divide by 2 equals the angle. Let's write it out. 55 plus 107 divided by 2 equals X. So we pull out our calculator. There we go, right? So, pretty clear. 55 plus 107, enter, divided by 2, 81. X is equal to 81. Slide that over. Now we're going to, so now here I was looking for the angle, but the next one I am looking for the arc. Fine, so be it. So we're going to do 92 plus X. We're just going to straight up use that formula divided by 2, and that's equal to 71. Well, remember, we even said before, a great way to solve these guys is making it a proportion. So we're going to cross multiply, and that's going to look like 92 plus X, that's times 1, is equal to, and that's 142 minus 92, so 142 minus 92, enter, and you can't see it, but there it is, it's 50. And X is equal to 50. And our last guy over here on the right, we are going to do 82 plus 46 divided by 2, but that's not going to give you X. That's going to give you this angle. So you have to be careful. X is taken, so let's choose another letter. Why not Y? So it's going to give us Y. So let's write up an equation here, and let's say, well, 82 plus 146 divided by 2, arc plus arc divided by 2, is equal to this angle Y. I'm going to worry about X, that's second. So first I'm going to solve, and I'm going to say, okay, 82 plus 146 enter, divided by 2, and y is equal to 114. I'm even going to write it in here. Well, this is a straight line. Straight line, these two guys here are supplementary. So that means that I can find x by 180 minus 114, and that's going to be equal to x. 180 minus 114, and x is equal to 66. Okay, let's check out all these guys on the bottom and see how we do. All right, there we go, marathon. Arc plus arc divided by 2 is equal to 1. So 104 plus 38 divided by 2 is equal to the measure of angle 1. 104 plus 38 divided by 2, 71. I'm just going to kind of put it up there. Next up, arc plus arc divided by 2, 92 plus 95 divided by 2 is equal to the measure of angle 1. 92 and 95, hit enter first, then divided by 2, 93.5. Moving on. Number 3. Arc plus arc divided by 2 is not equal to 1. So I'm going to put x here. Okay? So arc plus arc divided by 2 is going to give me this. And then I'm going to do what I did up here when I found that 66, right? So let's do one step at a time. So I have 132 plus 53 divided by 2. Well, and that's going to give me x. Let's check it out. 132 plus, nope. Okay, 92.5. So x is 92.5, but I want 1. So 180 minus 92.5. I'm just going to do minus 180. It's going to be the negative, and I don't care. But angle 1, measure of angle 1 is equal to 87.5. That's what it says here. 87.5, number 4. So we look at number 4 here. Arc plus arc divided by 2. Okay. Several different ways I can do this. We can do what we've been doing, which is arc plus arc divided by 2, and that's going to give you this angle, and you can subtract from 180 and get 1. Perfectly fine. We can also notice that this entire circle is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 arcs. So why not, if we want to, take our 360 and let's subtract away each of these arcs, and we can find out what this fourth one is. 143 minus 37 minus 116, 64. The other thing we could have done was we could have recognized diameters. We really want to do that. If you see a diameter, jump on it. This is a diameter. I can tell it goes through the center. So this is 180 degrees. It's a semicircle, and I could have done 180 minus this 116, and that's another way I could have gotten that 64. At this point, once you have it, arc plus arcs, 37 plus arc divided by 2 is equal to the measure of angle 1. No idea. So 50 point, I'm going to just jump to the chase, is equal to 50.5. To the chase. There we go. Let's keep going. Number 5. Arc plus arc. Oh, okay. So it looks like those first 4, we were looking for angles. And here we're going to look for an arc, or an angle, or x. We're going to do it all. Arc plus arc. So 128 plus measure of angle 1. If you feel better putting the letter x there, go for it. Divided by 2 is equal to 116. Proportion, cross multiply. 128 plus the measure of angle 1 is equal to, so now I need 116 times 2, 232 minus 128, and I got 104. Measure of angle 1 is equal to 104. Check, done. Check, please. Okay, next one. Arc plus arc divided by 2 is 133, so let's do it. 81 plus the measure of angle 1, make it an x if you feel better, divided by 2, because it's their average, is equal to 133. Proportion, 81 plus measure of angle 1 is equal to, so now I have to do 133 times 2, 266 minus 81, and the measure of angle 1 is equal to 185. Yeah, it kind of looks like a semicircle. It's actually just a little bit more than a semicircle, so this picture is kind of drawn to scale. Number 7. Oh, it kind of looks like they're not giving us enough information, so when things like that happen, we have to really look at the picture, and hopefully you recognize that is the center. Notice in all of these pictures, they give you the center point of the circle, and then you can clearly see that most of our angles are not the center, but this one is the center. And when that's a central angle, you know it's the same. So that's 128, vertical angle is 128. Okay, so measure of angle 1 is equal to 128. There's no work to do. Next guy. Well, plenty of work to do for this one. All right, so let's take a look. Arc plus arc divided by 2 is equal to 132. So I have my 9x minus 10 plus 5x plus 8 divided by 2. This plus this divided by 2 is equal to 132. I'm going to slide this up because I'm probably going to be going off my paper, and that's okay. 14x minus 2 plus multiply is equal to 132 times 2, so that's 264. Add 2 to the other side. 14x is equal to 266. Let's hope it divides nicely. If not, what else? Divided by 14, we said 19. And x is equal to 19. Looks like 119. I don't know why there's like a mark on my paper. X is equal to 19, and that's it. So most of the problems that you will do will kind of follow one of these patterns. So good luck. You're going to do great.